Morning.
Thank you for choosing this lake. Everybody's happy with it. This is the code.
I thought I had my phone on me, but I don't. It's in the truck still.
Your videos are so good, dude. They are good. You must spend like 2 hours editing.
Oh, dude. Put a 0 on the end of that.
That's 20 hours.
Yeah.
My
It's no joke. And it's 60?
Yes, sir.
There you go, sir. Dale, good seeing you, man. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today is tournament day out here on Lake Hamilton, located in Central Florida. I'm competing in a local tournament today against about 15 guys. It is officially full-on summer. Water temperatures are already in the low 80s, and it's going to be high 90s for air temperature. I think that there's going to be fish caught today, but I think that we're eventually going to need to run into 16 plus inchers to be competitive. If you cross over 80 inches, I think that your bag is going to be competitive, and we're going to have a good potential to be in the money, but I think that 85 inches is going to win it today. So we first need to get the skunk out of the boat, catch that limit, cull up from there, and chase those 16 inchers. First cast is at 6:30, last cast is at 2:30. Then we have to be back at headquarters at 3, and the longest 5 bass wins. So let's see if we can find some good ones. I know we're going to be around the right ones. We just got to see exactly what they're doing today. So y'all stay tuned to see how we do. As always, y'all, I appreciate you watching. Now let's go fishing. Let's pull up the deep dive app and see what the weather is like today. 6:30, that's when lines are in, and the area that we're heading is going to be protected from the wind basically all day, especially in this little cove. That's where we're going to be hanging out and fishing a lot of pepper grass. The wind's going to be blowing primarily out of the south, and then around noon it's going to be blowing out of the southeast. So that's why we're in this section today. You can tell by those blue dots in that light brown line that this section of the bank is going to be pretty protected, and that's very important in a kayak. If we go over to the weather section, it's going to be a hot one. By noon it's going to be up to 90 with a little bit of cloud coverage, so that changed, so that'll be nice. And the pressure is going to be pretty high throughout the day, so we might need to slow down. We'll just see what kind of mood these bass are in. But I really like using the deep dive app. It is a great tool to prepare you for the day. So if you are interested in the deep dive app, please click the link in the description below. And a huge shout out to Deep Dive for sponsoring today's video. Greg, good luck to you, man. Be safe. Alrighty, at 6:30, lines in. See what we can figure out here. Like usual, I'm gonna try to spend most of the day with my electronics off. Most of this area and through here is gonna be about 3 foot deep. Just trying to be as stealthy as possible. It's still very early. We're only about 10 or 15 minutes into the tournament. Things just seem a little different. Maybe it's just gonna take a little bit for these bass to wake up. The past several times I have fished this spot, I've gotten bit on the speed worm pretty quickly, but I'm trying not to get too stuck on that bite if they aren't wanting it. I'm definitely going to be cycling over to that, but I also want to see if maybe there's something else they'd be willing to come up for. It's one of those things where there has to be bass in here. Just got to figure out what they're willing to commit to. There's no way there's not. I'm seeing a ton of bait everywhere, and I'm seeing bass blow up on it. Things are different. Just gotta keep cycling through here. We'll run into something. Toss around the drop shot just a little bit. See if there's even small ones around here. Oh boy. Well, that's a drop shot fish for you. That's probably just, I mean, barely going to be a keeper. Oh my. Is that what's over here? 10 inches is the minimum today. It's probably just gonna barely make the cut. Well, the first goal is always to get the skunk out of the boat. I think this is gonna do it, but just barely. Yeah, just barely. All right, 11 incher, first one of the day. Thank you, buddy. Well, we found number one. Even though it's small, it helps you settle into the tournament. All right, I need to put this up. I don't need to spend a lot of time with that drop shot. I'm gonna spend just a few more minutes here, and if I don't see anything, I'm gonna continue down to my second spot. They fish a little bit in between here and there. These bass were gonna be a little bit more mobile first thing in the morning before the sun came up. So far, that is just not the case. All right, we're just gonna continue to move on. Definitely weren't on my starting spot. In my last video, I went over the 5 tips and tricks on how to win more money in kayak bass fishing tournaments. We found that location away from everyone, and we have our few baits that we know we're going to be sticking with today. We just need to be confident in our areas, stick with our game plan. If you're interested in that video, it'll be linked in the description. All right, we're going to move on. It may not be as easy as I thought it was going to be today, or that spot may have just dried up since last weekend. Hopefully these bass have moved up over here into this pepper grass. So we're gonna go over here, check it out, see what's going on. There's a very defined pepper grass line that we're going to be fishing. See if there's any bass relating to all this pepper grass. Well, that didn't take too many flips into the pepper grass. That's right where you want it to. Look at that. It's definitely better than number one. All right, 14 1/4. Not a bad one. Thank you, buddy. He was right on the edge of that pepper grass line. Well, number two was a decent one. If we get a kicker today, it's okay if that one's in our bag at least. See if there's any more out here on that pepper grass line. Yep, I landed right on his head. Come on. Didn't get a good hook set on him. Oh, bites are gonna be too hard to come by for that to be happening. Seems like they're buried in the grass though. That's 3 bites. Oh man. Come on. That was not a giant. We need to fill that limit though. Take some pressure off. They are all in here. You gotta be a little bit faster, my guy. That was another one. I guess I might need to work it a little slower. Okay, well, at least we landed the right one. There we go. That's a good one. These bass are all in this pepper grass. That's one that's okay to have in the bag at the end of the day. $17.5. That is a good one. Appreciate you, girl. All right, we need a few more like that. Guess we're gonna be spending quite a bit of time in this pepper grass patch. We're back to the start of that pepper grass line. I would imagine that there are a few more loaded up on this outside edge. There's no way that we could have flipped every last little nook and cranny, so we're gonna spend a little bit more time out over here. Man, I saw him come up for that. That was crazy. What a fun bite. It's another decent one too. All right, that is 15.25. Another decent one. Thanks, buddy. 4 down, 1 more to go for that limit. This is a fun bite. See if we can get 1 more to fill a limit, and that'll take some of that pressure off. This was one of the 3 or 4 spots that I found on practice. Knew that there would be fish here, but as of right now, there's definitely more than there was on practice, it seems. One of the things that I talked about in my last video was to fish a week out as far as the conditions go. I could tell by using the deep dive app that that wind was going to be more in our favor, even though the wind did change slightly over the past week for how we were preparing to fish. It's still blowing in the same general direction, and this area is going to be protected from the wind most, if not all, of the day. So we're going to be really fishing this hard today. This is a really good way to run into a giant. I'm just looking for all these little open pockets here in this pepper grass, and I look for all the little points and just anything that looks a little different all down through this pepper grass line. Sometimes it takes more flips than others, but I've gotten a lot of bites so far, focusing on all that different stuff. Well, I saw him swim up for it. I threw it right back out there and he grabbed it. We haven't fished this new pepper grass wall for too long. That's a small one, but it fills the limit. Probably just over 12. 12 on the nose. Number 5. Thanks, buddy. Okay, well, that fills the limit. That's always one of the main goals. And now we need to get rid of that 11 and the 12. First things first, let's get rid of the 11. Then we can go from there. All right, it's a little after 9. And we got our limit fish. Now the hunt is on for 16 plus inchers. Now that we got our limit, we can be a little bit more picky. I didn't think I set the hook that hard on that poor guy, but he flew all the way over on the other side of the kayak. All right, we are going to give Flippin a break for a little bit. I'm going to circle back around and fish a little bit more inshore and fish some pepper grass. That's a little bit more sparse, and maybe I can run my speed worm through there. Oh, yes. I landed right on his head. First coal of the day is a good one. It's probably going to give us at least 4 more inches. $15.25. That's over a 4-inch coal. Thanks, buddy. Now we need to get rid of a 12. Need to find either 2 more 16-inch bass or 1 over 18, and I think we'll have a fairly competitive bag. See what we can find out. I may have to circle back around and fish my pepper grass line again. Greg, I was not expecting to see you.
Yeah, I know. You got 2. How many you got?
6. Got 1 word. Pepper grass. That's some friendly advice. I know you do the same. So are you heading over to middle? Alrighty, sir. Well, Greg says that he's struggling. So if he's struggling, that means that probably a lot of people are having a hard time finding fish, because Greg is a very good angler. So we need to get rid of that 12, and we may have a decent shot at cashing a check. We need a 16 plus. We're just going to beat this pepper grass wall up again and see if we can run into, I mean, we just need 2 more good bites and we're going to have a really good shot at cashing a check today. So you just got to keep our head down and probably just do a ton of flipping. Tournament's almost halfway over. Right now I'm using a 3/8 ounce black tungsten weight, and I got 2 bobber stops to peg that weight on a 3/0 Gamakatsu flipping hook with a Rage Menace black and blue. If I'm not punching through anything very thick, that 3/8 ounce seems to just be the perfect weight for me. Gives you just enough feel, still allows you to be subtle. You're able to open up your bait caster and just let that weight fall and still wait for those fish to bite it. You can feel that thump. Wow. Well, there's another one. If he gives us anything, it's going to be a 1/4 inch. We got a coal. You never know, that might be the difference. 12 1/4, and it gave us a 1/4 inch. Thank you, buddy. All right, well, that was a coal. Sometimes that 1/4 inch is what keeps you out of the money. So we'll just keep on chipping away at this thing. I can't be too picky. I definitely don't want that 12 1/4 to be in the bag at the end of the day, but beggars can't be choosers right now. Thankfully, we're at least culling up. We got a limit, and we just need 1 big bite. and then we can be competitive or get a couple of decent quality, and we can still be in the hunt for this thing. Gotta keep this rage menace in the water. Well, that is what I get. That is a very, very hard lesson. I saw that I needed to retie, and I said, let me just catch one more. Golly, man. I don't know. That could have been a 14-incher or a 24-incher, but that is what you get when you don't listen to your gut. Well, you just never know how big the one that got away was. But if it was a bass, definitely have a feeling that it would have culled us up something. But we're just gonna have to put that one behind us and continue to flip. All right, there's a dock that's about a quarter mile away. Hopefully nobody's fished it yet or beat it up too much. We're gonna go check that dock out, give this area a rest. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to go back through here at least one more time before the day's over. We have a little over 3 hours left to fish, so let's go over and check and see if anything's up underneath that dock. Alrighty, y'all, so just a quick midday update. I'll admit the bite is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but we were able to get a limit and we've culled up twice, so we just got to continue to keep our head down and fish hard. We really need to get rid of that 12 1/4. So we're going to come over here to a dock that historically holds bass, and then we're going to continue to cycle back through that pepper grass and maybe a couple other docks to see if we can get rid of that 12 1/2. We're looking for a 17 plus or 2 16s. I'm trying not to focus on me breaking my line back there. That really hurt. I think that probably was our cull fish, but we can't focus on that. We got to continue to keep our head down and fish hard. But hopefully we can find 1 or 2 more big ones and make today interesting. So y'all stay tuned and let's see how we do. I don't want to spend too long over here, but that sun is high and it's going to be worth at least checking and seeing if any bass have moved up underneath these docks. Oh man, that's why you skip docks. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you, girl. That might be 17 plus there too. It's not a bad one at all. She's 17. That's gonna be a really, really solid fish. Oh, 18, no way. All right, y'all, that's a 7-inch cull. That is fantastic. I cannot believe that. Thank you, girl. That just pushed us over 80 inches. We're now sitting at 80 1/4. So we have to get rid of a 14 1/4, but that should get us close to a check. That's at least going to make things interesting. All right, we picked these docks clean. Those were the only ones that I really wanted to spend any time on. We're now gonna circle back around and flip our pepper grass again. We gotta find one that is larger than 14 1/4. We made it back to our pepper grass spot. Got just under 2 hours of fish. Last cast. All right, that's it. Tournament is over. All right, y'all, tournament is over. And that was a tough one. It was a lot harder to catch a limit than I thought it was gonna be. But not only did we catch a limit, but we also cracked 80 inches, so our bag is competitive. We did exactly what I said to do in my last video, which is continue to cycle through those areas where I knew fish were gonna be. Eventually the right ones moved up. We were able to crack that 80-inch mark and make our bag competitive, and we at least have a chance at cashing a check. So we're not using Tourney X this year, so we have to head back to headquarters, see exactly how we did. We have about 1.5 miles pedal to get back, so we got 30 minutes to make it. I need to get there and see how we did, but y'all stay tuned for that as well. But as always, y'all, thank y'all for watching today's video, and if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. What's up? Good.
Seth, what you sandbagging, man?
I might have scraped together something, we'll see. 14 1/4. Oh, 15 1/4. Different fish, another 15 1/4. Yep. 17 1/2. Yep. 18. Yep.
First place with 88 1/4, Mr. Dan Monterelli. Second place, 84 1/2, Mr. Russell Kennedy. Third place, Dale Templeton with 83. And Big Bass with 23 1/2.